Do you want more customers to buy your jewelry but don't really know how? In this video, I'm going to talk about hooks, how other companies do them, how to source hooks, how to write hooks, and a couple of formulas to be able to actually make hooks for your own content and for your own ads to actually get customers to walk into your shop and buy your jewelry. So Cartier, one of the biggest jewelry companies on the planet, if not the biggest, Cartier has an enormous amount of organic content, right? So they post an enormous amount on places like TikTok and Instagram, right? Now, the thing is that they also run an enormous amount of Facebook ads. Facebook meta ads in general, Instagram and Facebook. So we have their ads here that are kind of carousel ads. We have real ads. We have even image ads and a bunch of these sort of stuff. So what we kind of want to do is be able to know which ones of their organic content works the best, because we are going to be able to basically see two different types of hooks. One is a written hook, and then two is a visual hook. Jewelry is obviously very visual, so we need to understand what visual hooks are working the best at this point in time. And there are a couple of tools for that. So one is this tool, Realizer. But if you have, for example, the free version, you're going to still able to use it, no problem. If you want to pay for it, you're going to have much more. Like, you're going to be able to see way more reels. You're going to have way more data, stuff like that. But the free works fine. So what we want to do is go here and look for a bunch of jewelry companies, basically. And we want to analyze their reels. So here we will be able to see the ones that got the most views, the ones that got the most likes, the ones that got the most comments, and the ones that got the most engagement. Sadly, our way of analyzing which are the best ones are saved reels or posts that have been saved, posts that have been shared, and conversions. Now, none of these are given here, but anyway, we would be able to get a very, very good understanding of what visual hooks are working the best with views and engagement. What are the sort of things that people like with likes and comments, right? So if we keep going down, we will have all those reels, right? Those reels that have worked very well. And we will be able to see all the visual hooks, right? So for example, this one, kind of high production, not really what we are looking for. I'll show you another way that's much easier. This is another visual hook. If you saw the first 2 seconds, that was a visual hook. This is 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 a visual hook, right? So we're going to see a bunch of visual hooks that we want to be able to understand so that we can emulate, but in our way, right? For our shop, for our products. Now, another way to see what is working very well is just go to TikTok. I know TikTok is not my favorite social media. I don't even use it, but I do use it to source hooks because TikTok is pretty good at sourcing very, very low production hooks, right? Visual hooks. So we got a bunch of them here. We just have to go to TikTok tag /tag jewelry /tag /jewelry, and we will be able to see all the basically trending works. And we will have a bunch of these sort of hooks that are spectacular, right? These are visual hooks that are absolutely spectacular, right? Now, let's go to let's say written hooks. So what are written hooks? So written hooks are, I'll go to another one because jewelry advertisers are not generally the best at written hooks. Obviously, they should be good at visual hooks, but written hooks are pretty good too. So especially for us local shops, right? So let's go to King Kong. All right. So this is an advertiser company. That's what they're good at, hooks, right? So this is a hook. I'd give anything to know how to finally rank number 1 on Google. This is the closest thing to free money you will ever find. I'd give anything to know how to this is the same. Why are we being called the Millionaire Factory, right? This is an advertising company. So these are what written hooks look like. These client getting cheat codes feels illegal, right? So that's a hook. Now, what do we want? This obviously this is not our industry, it's not our niche, it has nothing to do with us, but we really want it to be able to understand what a written hook is, what sort of formulas do they use, how do they make us feel, so that we can use it for our industry, right? Which is a local goldsmith shop, a local jewelry shop, right? Now, for you specifically, um, how do we actually write them, right? So we have a couple of formulas. Again, there are more, but there are a couple of formulas that you can use. So, for example, there's a curiosity plus open loop, and just think about how this will work for your own business, right? To sell your own products, to sell your dream wedding ring, to sell your necklaces, to sell your bangles, to sell whatever you're selling, whatever you're offering at this point in time. Um, think about how you can use this to put it out there, right? So curiosity gap plus open loop, right? So one of the things is kind of like the rumors are true, dot, dot, dot. Like you have no understand, you don't really understand what they are offering, but the rumors are true, dot, dot, dot makes you kind of want to read the next line, right? Then you guys want to hear something completely insane. All right. On November 3rd, 2022, the world changed forever, right? You can also put the dot, dot, dot here, right? Another formula is niche plus direct address plus implied value. So Stockholm brides, I have a gift for you, right? If you just got engaged, this video will get you dot, 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 right? So we're kind of playing with them, right? That's a hook. Now you can also have super, super simple hooks. Like we are looking for 5 Stockholm brides who want their dream wedding ring, right? Like you can have a super simple hook, super direct hook as well. These are just some of the formulas that have worked very well, right? Either in different industries or in our industry, right? So another formula is unexpected questions plus implied tension. So what does that really mean? How does that look like? So real question, can I have your email address? Right. Another formula is action verb plus a promise result. Read this if you want a dream wedding ring, right? So, and then you're going to have a bunch of copies. So just by the way, the hook is this first part of the copy. Everything that's above this part, which is the creative, which is we call this creative, right? It's the photo or the reel or the whatever. The carousel ad is actually the picture, the image that you are seeing, that the strangers are scrolling through Facebook and seeing. The thing that you're putting in front of those strangers, right? That is the creative. Now, what's above the creative is the copy. And the first line of the copy is the hook. This is the hook. Now, obviously, there can be visual hooks here in the creative. Obviously, this is a visual hook, right? And then all of this is the copy. Now, you can keep going. If I click on this, there will be a bunch of copy. So that's the copy. Now, this is the headline, this is the subheadline, and this is the CTA, right? Again, all of these are fancy terms. It's just how do we organize our ad? What do we know where to put what? That's it, right? So these are fancy internet marketers or just marketers in general terms, but you don't really need to learn those terms. The most important thing is that you understand what a hook is and how to write it. Now, there are enormous amount of ways that you can write hooks. Like you can use one of the ways that we write hooks is that we go to, for example, I always say we. Sorry. I go to a bunch of these sort of pages, business pages, specifically internet marketer pages, because this is what they do best, right? And I just copy their hooks. I just I just copy it, right? And then I paste it into a Google Doc, right? And I do that 1,000 times. I just spend hours and hours like a complete nerd, just copying and pasting hooks, right? Complete nerd. But what happens is that after 12 hours, right? After 12 hours, I have this enormous amount of really, really good hooks. Now, what do? I save the Google Doc, right? I just save it as a PDF, right? And then I upload it to an AI, whether that's normally now, this is Claude for me. If you want to use ChatGPT, that's fine. If you want to use Grok, that's completely fine as well. Grok is pretty good. If you want to use DeepSeek, that's pretty good. If you want Perplexity, it's okay. You just have to be very careful with the prompt because I just found that Perplexity's credits just run out so fast, even faster than Claude now, which is a crisis, right? But that's just what I find. You can use any AI you want and you can upload them. You can even create projects, like specialized projects, specialized chats, right? That you just upload your stuff to that project, and then anything that happens in that project is based on hooks. And it's based on the data that you gave that project, which is all the hooks, right? And then what you want to do is say, this is my offer. This is who I am. This is who we sell to. This is what we are selling at this point in time. Write me hooks based on the hooks that I gave you. Write hooks for me, right? And then the AI will just write you 100 different hooks, and they are all going to be based out of these sort of hooks, right? Here's how to tickle the pixel or whatever, right? Stupid hook. But they're going to be like these luxury brand marketing secrets get me 500 leads per day. Now, what AI is going to do is going to copy this and make it for you, right? It's going to start promoting your dream wedding rings, your dream earrings, your dream necklace, right? Going to start doing that. Now, that's another way of writing hooks. You can also write hooks manually. That's completely fine. So let me just go through what is CarGurus and an enormous amount of huge companies' system for actually running Facebook ads and getting customers, right? So what CarGurus does, and again, an enormous amount of companies, very successful jewelry companies do, and what we should be emulating is this. So what they do is they use organic. They use organic to feed the ads, right? So what do? They post a bunch of organic, right? Times 1,000, right? They post a bunch of organic content. Now, what do those organic content posts look like? This is what they look like, right? A bunch of organic content. Now, if you don't, obviously, this is very high production, the best cameras, the best lighting, the best photographers, the best everything, right? We don't have that. We are local goldsmith shop. So what we're going to do is the TikTok way, right? We're going to do this. All right. This sort of stuff. All right. You're going to suppose this is absolutely spectacular. Now, these are, for example, this is a boxing video. What we want to do is unboxing videos, right? So that's what we want to do, right? And we're going to just post a bunch of these sort of stuff. Right? And then after we post a bunch of these sort of stuff, again, we are going to go to the framework of saved, shared, and convert. So the convert is, did any of these posts convert people into customers? And shares and saves are pretty self-explanatory, right? If we have these metrics in one of these organic posts, in two of these organic posts, what we want to do is we want to run them as Facebook ads, Instagram and Facebook meta ads, right? And we want to run them specifically in feeds. Now, we used to run them on stories as well. It's just that we have ran them less. It's not that we have stopped running them. We have just started running them less. I have stopped running them less. Jeez. Anyway, that's what we do. And then we do exactly the same formula as this, except without this. We just say, all right, we have run 30 ads, right? Times 30, whatever. Times 30. And of these 30, we have 5 that have gotten us really good results, right? And we have gotten 25 that have gotten us less results, right? So what we're going to do is exactly the same. We're going to grab these these 5 and we are going to replicate them 30 times. Again, this per week, right? Now, replicate, what does that mean? So we're just going to make a bunch of variations of that same ad creative. That's it, right? And we are not going to change the hooks. So all of these, we're not going to change them. We're going to use the exact same hooks, right? We're not going to change them. We're not going to test the hooks. We don't want to mess around with things that already work. We just want to make more of what's already working. That's it, all right? So we're going to do this and then again and again and again, right? And that is what brings you 41 leads every 2 days that you can convert into customers, right? Which is the whole point. So if you're a goldsmith shop owner, if you're a jewelry shop owner and you want more customers to actually walk into your shop, buy expensive jewelry, send 3 friends of theirs so that they can become customers as well and come back themselves and buy again and again, then click the link in the description of this video and I will show you click by click exactly how to do that.